Hi, thank you so much for being here this week. I know it's been a while. My family got hit with that bug that's been going around. It took us about 3 weeks to get everybody healthy, but we're all back and I'm ready to make some more videos. I want to focus a few videos at least, on decluttering, since that seems to be the biggest problem that I'm having in my home. And I know I hear from a lot of other people that is a big problem that they're having. You can't really get organized until you declutter and get better systems in place. So fortunately, I have a very good friend named Daugherty who wrote a book on decluttering, and she's coming over to give me some tips on how to get my pantry into shape. So we'll get all into that, and then I'm going to do another video with her about her book, a longer, more in-depth video on what she's finding in decluttering and how she helps clients. It's really interesting, and you're going to really find her very inspiring, and she has a lot of really good points and a lot of good information on why we hang on to so much clutter. But for today, we're just going to go over the pantry. So let's get started. Okay, brace yourself. This is my pantry, and I should be mortified to show you this. I actually am mortified showing you this, but this is the state of it. And mind you, I relined the shelves and repainted it and cleaned it a year ago and thought I had it organized. It was organized, but it didn't last. And this is what it's become. It's a small pantry, and I need to be much more purposeful. I need to get like a system in place. I need to really edit out a lot of it. Clearly we have too much space, and I don't even know what I have in there at this point. So I need someone to come help me. Thankfully, my friend Leigh is going to come help me. She wrote this book, How to Get Your House in Order, and I'm going to link that in the description for you guys. And I want to introduce her here. We lost the footage. We've had some scheduling issues. I thought she was going to be able to come check out the pantry, but that's not going to happen. But she is going to come back for a bigger interview, longer interview, I should say. So we'll have more time to talk with her. But this is Leigh. She's amazing. This book is so good. And she's going to come on right now and tell us what to do with this pantry.
Okay, so there's 3 things that I want you to do before we get started in pulling everything out to organize. And the first thing is you gotta think about what your wish list is. What do you need to solve for? What do you have that's working? What would you like to have? That's really important. And then secondly, we have to measure everything. So measure the shelves, the height, the depth, the floor space, because we wanna maximize as much space as possible. And then the third thing is budget. So how much do you wanna spend? What do you have that you can reuse? And do you want to give it some kind of personality? Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is I need to find out from you what your wish list is. Like, what do you have that's working? What do you want to incorporate? What do you need that you don't have? So that's number 1. And then the second thing is we need to measure everything. We need to measure the depth of the shelves, the height, and then also in the floor here, how much floor space that you have, because that's a totally underutilized part of the pantry. And most people treat it like a garage, their pantry, they just throw stuff in there and shut the door. So that's really important. And then also the height. We have a lot of height in pantries, so we want to maximize all the space that we can up here. And then also we need to think about, like, I see you have some baskets already here, some turntables. Like, what do you have that you want to keep? And then what else do you want to buy? So there's so many different organizing products that the planning piece of it is really important, because once you have all the right pieces, then it's very easy to pull everything out and do the job. Okay, so in terms of doing the actual project, the first thing you want to do is get all of your cans out, right? And we want to look at expiration dates on everything, because everybody always has expired stuff in their pantry, and especially from 2020 when we were all quarantined.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see that you have some items here that we need to solve for. What is this, like a bread maker? Okay, and we have a pepper mill. So again, we want to try to utilize the floor space here. Ideally with something that pulls out on wheels, so you can sweep behind it, and that's like the best solution. So I'll give you some ideas there. And then always like bags, extra bags. Everybody has that problem, so we'll need to find a solution for that too. Okay, so another thing is when we want to maximize the space here, you could also get some bins with lids that will stack, that you put lighter weight things in, like it could be seasonal napkins, things like that, or tablecloths, things that you need to store but don't need to get to right away. Okay, so we have to figure out what's happening with all the tea here. I know you guys are tea lovers, so I'm gonna do some research on different solutions for you, and we'll circle back, but we definitely want to designate an area for tea. Yeah. Okay, so definitely, I think all of these Ziploc bags need to go into a drawer, so let's try to find a space there. And I know we were talking about spices. We need to find a really good solution for your spices, and I think that just something like this would be great. We'll get a couple of those for spices and also for some of your canned goods. And then Lazy Susan are great for sauces, and sometimes I'll do like one that's savory, like oils and balsamic vinegar, things like that, and then one that's sweet. So you have like syrups and vanilla, like things that are, so I divide them by sweet and savory, and that's pretty fun.
Mostly what I need to go through is all of these cans. Since COVID, I started prepping, making sure we couldn't get to the grocery store, we had enough stuff. It's just a habit that stuck with me. So I'm going through all of these, and hopefully that will thin it out a lot. I know a lot of them, they haven't been here since COVID, but I've just kept up the practice since then, but I know a lot of them have expired. Okay, so here's the first batch that I'm gonna go through and throw out before I can bring the second shelf down. It's a lot of cans. So just beginning to clear out under there. I didn't even know we had this or this. We've never even opened this. That is so sad to me that we have so much clutter. We don't even know what we have. So I think I'm probably gonna sell this because we just don't have time to make bread. And we'll keep this on another cold night. We'll make fondue. So that's good. We found some things. One thing we talked about was I put all these saran Ziploc bags up here and things like that. And it's such a dumb idea because what happens is they just fall on the floor. I just picked up a whole bunch that were on the floor. So that's not a very good idea. So I'm going to move all of this to a drawer so we can free up that space because this is just not working. So I'm gonna remove these little fairy lights that I put on table settings. So only I would prioritize fairy lights over Ziploc bags that we use every day. So this makes no sense. So I'm gonna move these and put them, in another area of the house, and I will put something more practical in here. So I'm gonna do that today as well. I found this on Amazon, and so far this is working out amazingly well. Okay, so for all the saran wrap that I took out of the pantry, I put it into this drawer. I got this off of Amazon, and you probably could do it a little bit better, but it's working for us. I'm just separating out the bags and I'm putting them in these little situations like this, probably because they were all over the place. I could probably do it a little bit better, but it's working. I'm able to pull these out for the larger bags, and we're able to see what's going on and to keep this saran wrap back like this. So this I love. My family is so happy that I got this. Everybody knows where it is and what size, and it's not all falling on top of you. So this was a great upgrade. I'm so happy that we did this. And then you just put it away and you don't see it anymore. So I am super happy with it. I don't think I've seen this floor in about a year since we've done our renovation in here. I just started throwing things in here without much organization. So this is a good start. So the most important thing was just getting everything out of there, all the clutter, everything that was just going to the floor and just being shoved in there on the shelves. I just had to see what we had to work with. So it's a small pantry for our size of the home, so we really needed to utilize it the best. And the best way for me to do it was to have everything that I can see. I think everything was stacked up on the top of each other or on bags. the best thing for me to do is be able to glance in and look and see what I have. So I was going for clear jars, and I was going for everything sort of like a neutral, so I knew it would go together. So I was just, hitting the thrift stores and Target. The dollar section is awesome. These were so nice. So I was getting as much as I could and just trying to get sets together to see how I wanted them to go. That was going to be for our trash bags. And then I found another thing right here, so I could use this for the dog food and keep it on the floor and just pull it in and out like Leigh suggested. Okay, so you've seen me thrift a lot of these, and I got pieces like this at Target that you saw, and Leigh recommended I get something like this for my spices. So I'm gonna try that out, and then I found these guys, and I'll see if they can help in there. But so I have a lot to choose from, and I'm gonna just see if I can work it out and organize it, and then Leigh will come back one more time, and then she'll help me figure out what we could do better. So let's just start with what we have here. Leigh and I talked about one thing before she came over, which I have so many boxes of tea. We do drink a lot of tea, but what I wanted to do is, some of these boxes are empty and we just leave them in there because we can't see what we have. So I am going to move all of our tea into these kinds of things. We talked about being able to see what you have, so when it gets low, you know how to restock it, and you're just not having a bunch of empty boxes, because that's what happens in our house. So that's what I'm doing before she gets here, just a little bit of prep work. So I'm just filling up these with the tea, and I just keep pouring it in there just to get our section together, and just filling them all up with the different types of tea in the different jars, and it is such a game changer. So I got this jar, and I liked it because it's just a neutral. It's going to go with all the other neutral things that I've got. I'm going to pour my coffee in here because what I want to do is be able to see like where I am instead of in the bag, because I just keep buying things, and we have, or not buying things, and we only have like maybe a scoop left. So I think this will just help me gauge where we are, and it will look cleaner in our pantry and just better looking for me when I come in there. So I got these at Target, and I like them because I feel like what I was thinking about doing was something like this, putting my coffee grinds up here like this, and then my bags or any extra things that I want in my coffee down here. So I could even keep an extra bag. That's all the coffee I have this week. But so I thought this was kind of a cool idea, just kind of keep a coffee section and keep it all contained. And Leigh talked about always kind of working the space up instead of just horizontal. So I thought this might be a good space saver. So we'll see what she says. So for the baking section, I had a lot of food, flavors like vanilla, orange flavor, lemon, all that kind of stuff, maple. We do cook a lot, so I do access those quite a bit. So on the bottom, I put the paper liners for muffins and food coloring that I don't use as much. It's kind of seasonal things. So I feel like this was a good setup. It kind of has we're taking, using the height, not taking up too much room, and it feels a little bit more organized to me. So I'm pretty happy with that section. I was so happy with the tea section, and I could already tell that was going to work so much better, that I took all of those clear jars and I started separating out our snacks, our trail mix, and our pistachios, all that kind of thing, and our pretzels, and I started putting them in different sets of jars, and it has made such a difference, and I just love being able to look in there and seeing what I have. So that's what I was doing here. Okay, so I bought one of these spice step things, organizer deals from Target, and Leigh told me that this was a much better system than what I have, which is the Lazy Susan kind of thing. I think she's probably right, because I can see I've already bought like a couple of cinnamons because I just didn't see it when I was looking, and she said to organize everything by, alphabetically. So I'm going to try that, and I think this takes up more space, but it's probably going to help me in the long run, save me time if I go ahead and do it this way. Let me set it up and I will see if this works. And last but not least, the dog food. Oh, I love this because you can pull it in and out, and Leigh's right. It sits on the floor so nicely. I measured it so it fits under that first shelf, and it is so easy. It comes with a scoop, so this is going to make life a lot easier for us. Okay, so let's go through one final walkthrough of this pantry. Let's start at the bottom. And as you can see, I actually have space to walk in. Before I had to lean over and reach to get everything. And I don't have things out in the hallway that I'm going to put back in after this video. This is really how it looks all the time. You always know when people do that, but this is really how it looks. I really have gotten rid of everything that was down here, threw it away, or just put it somewhere else. So this is where I'm going to put all of the bags. Leigh wanted me to come up with a new solution, and that's what that's looking like for this little trash can. That's where I have a diffuser that we use, and that fondue pot. We may or may not use it, but at least I know where it is and that we have it. I have a basket down here that I'm going to keep onions or maybe potatoes from time to time. A very old and kind of painted on it step stool, but I love that one. And for my dogs, instead of having bags of dog food, I have their dog food in here, and then I can just kind of glance in and see if I need to get more, which I kind of do at this point. And then our broom. So when we got to the second shelf, that's where we have the mixer, can opener. And over here, I created a section. I got that tray at Target, I believe. And I just wanted to keep all of our vitamins. I'm the type that needs to see it or I won't use it. So when I open it, I'm reminded we need to take vitamins. Over here, I have beans, black eyed peas that we like a lot, and pasta. And then in this basket, I have all of our grains. Over here, all of our pastas, and I've reduced all of the, recipes and stuff into just this. I really went through them and realistically figured out I'm only really going to make that much. And these are some other recipes I've gotten from other places. So that's that. So I have my apron hanging here. You can just see it's on a hook right there. And then down here on this other row, I've got a place to put all of our snacks like popcorn, and I'm not going to buy a surplus. I'm just going to, now that I can see what we have and it's more organized, I'm just going to fill it up. And now it's getting low, so it's about time to fill it up. So I will do that, but I don't want to have a lot of excess just because I don't know. I couldn't see in here, so I just kept buying and buying. Now it's more reasonable. I'll buy what we need. Okay, so these are just little packages to go of nuts. We love trail mix. Here's one that we can just, anytime we want to just get in there with the scoop and put it in the bowl to go. This one has some like sweets and chocolate in it. That's why it's separated out. I've got some pistachios, some candy, and those are some peanut pretzels that we love from Trader Joe's, and another kind of a snack mix that we love, spicy snack mix, from Trader Joe's. And Leigh was so right. This works so much better to organize your spices. You can see everything. I have them alphabetized, so nothing's hidden. It's all right there. And I can do a quick scan all at once to see what's low. And, like I said, we've been working this system for over a month now, and it's just been fantastic. I think I was at least double or tripled up on a lot of my spices. I think I had 5 cinnamon jars. So I'm down to a reasonable amount, and I can tell what's going on. Over here, I have my mushroom coffee that I like to use from time to time, and some other teas that we use for special occasions. Okay, so we talked about the tea solution already. So I'm just gonna, I have my my pans hung up there. So we're gonna go over here, and I got all of these jars I bought at Target because I really wanted this section to be uniform. And that's kind of hard to thrift sometime. So I did buy all of these. So that was probably the biggest expense, and it wasn't even that bad. Just so it looked nice and I could see all of our tea, and I can tell when we need to restock. I'm not having to look in cartons, and most of the cartons were empty. So in this way I can tell, like this one back here needs to be restocked, and I will probably go do that this week and have some extra tea kettles that we use. And then I'm gonna have my oils here that I reach for every day, and coconut oils for whatever I'm making, and then more cooking oils over here, and just extra bags of flour. So that has been working. This has been working so amazingly well. My family loves it. Everybody is loving it because now we just know what we have, and just the whole family is really excited about this chart. So let's move on to the next shelf. So I've talked to you about Cultured Cup when I was doing the Valentine video. We went there and bought some tea, and this is what their teas look like, and it's loose tea. And so we really use those for different types. So this is where all of our loose tea is going to be kept. And then right in these are so nice because I think I've thrifted these somewhere, and they're just so nice because these, you're rifling through and they don't fall out, and it keeps it organized, and I can see through it, which I love. There's some honey, and then this over here is, my mother likes coffee, so I keep this here for her, and it's all organized, and I love how it's like, you know, we were utilizing the height, and you have this little, you know, tray down here to keep extra stuff. It's my garlic. So this section here is all the stuff that I need for baking. And again, I love that I can see it and it's stackable, and I've got all of my, you know, all of the different flavors that I'm going to be using, and just, it's just all so easy right now because I can just glance in and tell what I need. And then over here is where we have the jars of, you know, flour and sugar and brown sugar, and that is like oatmeal that we use for other things. So that's all super easy to find. So up here, as we are going up, so we talked about how I was just going to put all that in a basket, and then this stuff, and that's just stuff that's storage. We had so much. I do not know how that got so out of control. But I have the drawer, and I will show you that, how that's organized. But this is just extra stuff. And it was all open. It was all falling out. Just no structure. Like I showed you, always on the floor. So that's just when we run out of the stuff in the drawer, we can come over here and use this. And then we'll get back to more organization once we go through all that. I just don't want to waste it. So down here is where I have all of these protein drinks that we use from time to time. And then if we move over, that's where I keep all the chicken broth. I'm constantly using that for soups and whatever. And we just have a few more like nuts, so a little more storage for other things. And then over here is where I have all of our ciders, vinegars, and different types of vinegar, balsamic, that I use for different things. And then this is what my whole can situation reduced to, because I realized I was just, they were, most 90% of them were expired. And I'm not going to keep so much extra cans around anymore. So that's what that's looking like right now. And it's really organized, and I'll just have to keep going through that, you know, a little bit more deliberately to make sure things aren't expiring. But I think with that little amount, I will go through it just naturally. All right, so here's where I keep extra napkins. Those are extra like baking things. You know, so just cake decorating, that kind of thing when we need them, which isn't always. And these are just out of season napkins. And if we go up a little bit more, tablecloths, and it's Easter, so I'll be getting that down pretty soon. And my daughter's lunch boxes and things that she'll need for other events, but we don't need to have access to all the time. So I think it is looking so nice. And I think my favorite part about this is that I can actually walk into my pantry, and I love that it looks nice. I got all clear and neutrals, so it goes together. It blends. So everything that I picked up, it was gonna work because it's all, I consider them neutrals. And then I can see everything, and I'm so happy about this tea situation. My family, that's my family's favorite part. It's just like, oh, you know, we're all drinking more tea. We're keeping it clean. We're taking notes about what we need, and everybody's a little bit more involved. So that has been great. Also, the snack section has been a big hit with everybody, and I feel like everybody's reaching for healthier snacks because they're easy to get to, and I don't know, it's more pleasant to come into this pantry instead of just grabbing some cookies or whatever else I have out here, which I'm trying to cut down on. So anyway, I think all of Leigh's points and all of the advice she gave me was really on point, and I'm so excited that this is looking as nice as it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I know it's not very fun watching somebody clean a pantry, but I really hope that Leigh's tips help you, because they really did help me figure out how to get this together. And I've been using this system for a month, so I know it's going to work. My family's been able to stay, we've all been able to stay organized with this because it makes sense and we can see everything. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you the next time.